Okay, let's see. Okay, just a little short video. Um, it's me practicing, trying to do a new format thing. I want to do more videos, little short videos, things I want to say to my grandkids and my sons and my husband and my friends and just talk. I even, anyway, just gonna talk. Um, I went and saw an oncologist on Thursday. I think it was Thursday. It's a new oncologist, much nicer person than the oncologist I had at the beginning of this process. Uh, had an oncologist in the middle between the first one and this one. This is my third one. But the second one I had, he was nice enough, but I didn't feel like he was real sympathetic to what I was trying to accomplish, which, most of them aren't. But anyway, um, he asked if I understood exactly where I was at in my staging. And I told him I wasn't entirely sure. I'd heard the word stage 4 thrown around, and I'd heard maybe a year to live. So, but nobody got real specific with me. And so he went and explained stage 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And I mean, when I was first diagnosed, I was diagnosed at a 2B, so I totally bypassed the zeros and the ones as far as staging goes. So it's really no surprise to me that 2.5 years later, I'm at stage 4. Um, he did say that I'd already beat the odds because with triple negative, he said a lot of his patients, not 100%, because nothing's ever 100% across the board. There's always exceptions to every rule. And, you know, when it comes to medical stuff, nothing's really cut in stone. The only thing's really cut in stone are the commandments. Well, maybe some artifacts. But anyway, trying to be funny and it's not working. Um, Lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, well, anyway, stage 4, and it's because most of my tumors are over 5 centimeters, and there's quite a few of them. They're all lymph nodes as far as everybody can tell, but I have lymph nodes under my pectoral muscles on the right side. I have some breast tissue that's affected. I have the lymph nodes under my arm that are tumorous, and my understanding that one of the reasons why they couldn't do surgery to remove them is because at this point the tumors have wrapped themselves around the nerves, plural. So that's why one of the reasons I'm getting so much nerve pain. The lymphedema doesn't help; it adds to nerve pain, and and I also have some. It's hard to tell from the images, but they said it's either tumors between the 7th and 8th rib and around the 3rd rib. It's either a tumor of the ribs, or I should say cancer invading the ribs, or it's between your lungs and your rib cage is a lining that goes around your lungs. It's actually a fluid lining, and it helps with ease of breathing. Sometimes when you get sick and that lining gets inflamed or full of more fluid than it should have, you can have breathing difficulties. So, um, but anyway, they're not sure if it's that outer covering of the lungs that's cancerous or if it's the actual ribs. Um, And that's why I have lymphedema around my rib cage on the right side, um, below my breast, the arm, the shoulder, and part of my back, because the lymph nodes between the seventh and eighth rib and the third rib, well, the third rib I think is in the front, but the seventh and eighth rib are toward the back. So I have numbness and pain in my back. And he said he's not sure if it's spread to the spine or the bones or anything. That would change things significantly. But anyway, I got a call from the CHIPSA hospital down in Tijuana, Mexico. And somebody's supposed to call me tomorrow to let me know how much it costs. We've already talked to him about my condition and um, what they think would be a good protocol. They say they have quite a few people that come through there that have stage 4 cancers that get better. So, but as far as the regular doctors, they've said it's just a matter of keeping me comfortable till I die. So, they're not thinking of anything or in any way about healing or curing or anything like that. So that's not even in their wheelhouse. But I don't know if I finished what I was saying, if I got sidetracked. I get sidetracked really easy. Um, anyway, this doctor was saying that most of his patients with triple negative breast cancer only live, once they hit stage 4, 3 to 6 months. And he says, so you've already beat the odds. He says, because with your type of cancer, you probably would have been gone already if I hadn't been doing some of the protocols I've been doing, which although they haven't stopped the cancer, they definitely had to have slowed it down, between the supplements and the diet change and the fasting, and because the fasting did build my immune system, but it hasn't totally, stopped the cancer. They've been telling me since the beginning it's a real aggressive cancer, and my brother-in-law cynically said, well, if it was so aggressive, how come she's still alive? Uh, he's not the most sensitive person, but he's a good person. He's just he's just not super sensitive. Love you, Archie. If you're listening, I love you. And I get it, because there's been times where I've wondered myself, if this is such an aggressive cancer, how come I made it this far? But it's the grace of God. It's the grace of God, honestly, because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I haven't known since the beginning of this journey. Um, and I keep getting information in bits and pieces, and I get leads to do this and that and try this, and someone else tried that. And I get phone calls from people, oh, my cancer went away after I did this and that, or my mom's cancer, or whatever. Talked to a lot of different doctors, and so, I mean, if it works out for me to go to CHIPSA, uh, I think I'd be gone for about a month again, and I'd have to drive over there. I wouldn't be able to fly, but I'll give it a try. So, I mean, it can't hurt to give it a try. I mean, that's kind of been my attitude with everything so far. It can't hurt to give it a try. They did give me some pain medicine that's helped a little bit. I have to be so careful about my pain management, because it can so easily get away from me, and then I am in tears, and it's not a pretty sight. And I know it breaks Paul's heart when he sees me like that, and he makes me feel helpless, and makes me feel helpless too, because I don't know what to do. I'm just trying everything I know to do. So, but I got to tell you, having cancer is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with. Emotionally, financially, spiritually, well, maybe not spiritually, but definitely emotionally and mentally. Um, it's been a real chore uh, dealing with it, and there's a lot of emotional fallout when it comes to being told you have cancer. And it's not fun, and it's not a quick, easy journey. It's not a short journey by any stretch of the imagination. And I really didn't think that 2.5 years down the road I'd still be dealing with this. I expected to come across something great and grand and be done with it, and move on with my life and celebrate. And that is not what's happened. And we don't always understand why God allows certain things to happen. And this is no different than any other moment in life where we don't understand what's going on or why. And there's plenty of stuff like that in life. But God's promised to be with us, to protect us, to watch over us, to not give us more than we can handle. And if we're working toward uh, being in the way and following His truth and following His commandments, um, will there be some bad things that happen? Sure. But we can expect a lot of good things to happen too. Because when we're following in the way, then we have His blessing and we have His promise. So that's what I'm holding to, is His blessing and His promise, no matter what the outcome. I've had moments where my faith has been shaken. I've had moments where I wonder. I wonder if I'm going to have a future, or how long it's going to be. And then I'll be heartbroken because I'll think about leaving my husband and my children and my grandchildren, my family behind, and I know they'll miss me. I know I have lots of friends that will miss me, but I also know that over time I'll gradually get forgotten. It's, except to those that were the very closest to me. Um, over time I'll just be a distant memory. But that would be true whether I died or moved to New York, which isn't going to happen, but it'd be the same thing if I moved a long ways away. Um, Life goes on, and I just want to be found faithful in the end, and I just want to be found faithful, even though I know I'm not faithful all the time, and that breaks my heart, but it's a sad reality that we fall short. We fall short. So, well, my little short video is coming up on 13.5 minutes, and in Paul's book, that's a long time. So I'll end this one and look forward to the next one.